Hi, I am Becky Meagher, and welcome to Transitions, Body, Mind, Spirit. Transitions. We all have so many transitions in our life, and I like to use the metaphor of triathlon, something that I've been doing for 13 years, I guess. And in a triathlon, the first part is you swim, and then you get into a transition area, and then you bicycle, and then transition again, and then you run. And life is so like that, it's amazing. So tonight we have an amazing guest, Shawn Galaway, who is a healer using the arts. And he not only uses song, writes song, sings, but also does paintings, fine art. It's an amazing story. And we have two shows. So if you see this one and you like it, you want to see the second show too. So, Shawn Galaway, welcome. I'm so glad you're here.
Becky. It's a pleasure to be back.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. That's right. You were here before, maybe 4 years ago with a bunch of men.
That's correct.
And now you're back. And so tell us, you're going to be telling us about I Choose Love. But before that, we want to know a little bit about your beginnings and where you were raised. And I understand hockey was in your life as a child, and that morphed into college. So tell us a little bit about that.
So I was born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Yes.
You know, middle-class family with 5 kids, Catholic.
Galaway,
Galaway,
Irish.
Yeah, very much so. And I moved to Boston to go to college. I played hockey for years and years, you know, growing up. And so I was good enough to go play in Boston, which was just a wild experience, you know. But during that time, I was also learning how to play the guitar. I got a guitar for Christmas from my mom when I was a junior in high school, which was kind of late to be getting into the arts, you know. But my mom was the one that always introduced us to the arts, you know. And so that was her gift to me, and I never put it down. So I moved to Nashville after New York City when I graduated from college.
You had a degree in?
And I got a degree in management.
Huh.
I went to a small business school in Boston called Babson College. It was a Division II school. So my father was an entrepreneur, had his own business. I figured I'd follow in his footsteps, but then the music bug hit. And I said, New York, LA, or Nashville. And I started in New York City. I lasted about 6 months there, and I said, I need trees, I need land, I need nature. And so Nashville, back 37 years ago, I've been here now.
Wow.
You know, there was only 2 lanes going in every direction to Nashville, and now it's 6 lanes in every direction.
Yes.
So it's like tripled in size at least, if not more. So Nashville became my home, and when early on here, I had a friend that I met who said, you know, why don't you do this workshop? This will really help your songwriting. And it was a workshop, you know, back in the day like EST. It was called ISA.
ISA.
And it was my first experience in really taking a look at my life, and it really started, you know, waking me up, I guess is a good way to who I am, what I'm here to do, and to begin to take that, what I would call the hero's journey, you know, to heal myself, because there was a lot to heal, you know, from, you know, childhood experiences, you know, Catholicism was challenging for me. And so I started taking a look in the mirror and taking a look at my life, and this music started to evolve that allowed me to heal. I would write songs, and I like to tell people I write songs and I'd have to catch up to them. You know what I mean? So it was like it was wild. It was just wild. So,
Give us an example of you wrote a song and you had to catch up. What does that mean?
well, let's talk about I Choose Love.
Okay, which is a song.
Which is a song, and I wrote this song after 9/11, and it's been the song I've had a career with. You know, I've had the good fortune to be able to travel all over the world with this song.
Wow.
And it feels like now it's even needed more back than, you know, through it's. So anyway, my story with it was, it's like, I remember years ago, I had a mentor ask me, he said, Shawn, are you really ready to heal? And if you are, you're going to have to choose love. if you're not, you're going to stay in fear, and you're going to have escalating disease, discomfort, and hardships. You know, so I said, yeah, absolutely, I choose love. And then I wrote 10 years later, wrote the song, I Choose Love.
Wow.
So that was catching up to the song.
Got
And
it.
what I learned in that process was that, and this is for everyone now, especially our world right now, you know, choosing love is a choice not to be made lightly. It's a responsibility, you know, and what I had to do is take responsibility for the way I was living my life. You know,
For you.
For me.
Right.
And then that sort of morphed into how are we going to choose love as a collective? And that's perhaps the piece that I'm embarking on right now. What does choosing love mean in our world right now for us as humanity? You know, so what it does mean for me is that I began to unlock all the fears that I had sort of collected inside myself, all the emotional trauma that I had been through, and put that into not only songs, but visual art. And this was a way for me to heal. And so this record called I Choose Love, the CD that I created years ago, I did a painting or a drawing that goes to each one of the songs. And it's a template, I call it, for like what some people would call the hero's journey. That place where, you know, against all odds, you go in and find yourself. You know what I mean? I found my strengths, I found my gifts, I found my passions, I found my wounds and had to learn how to heal them. And so each one of these songs is a stage of that journey. And so this has morphed into not only a CD now, but it's also morphed into a book. I have a book called the I Choose Love book.
Okay.
And it's an art book. It has all the paintings in it and stories of where the songs came from and photos of concert footage and stuff like that. And also, it's I began to write a screenplay for it as well, and we're in the middle of producing that right at the moment, finishing the script for all that. So my vision for this project, that it would be a gift to humanity, to give, you know, people an understanding that we are in crisis in our world right now. You know, with the weather, or the political, the religious fronts, all of it, we're all questioning, well, who are we? You know, and so the collective, this is a template to say, you know, if you're going to choose love, then you have to understand that everything unlike love inside of you is going to come up, and you're going to have to look at it.
And is that called the shadow?
It could very well be the shadow. Absolutely. Okay. It's like, and the shadow are those aspects of ourselves that we've, you know, left in hiding or are not willing to acknowledge.
That's a Jungian way of saying it, the shadow.
Sure. Yeah. So anyway, that's a big project, and I'm very excited about that. And then the other thing that it's morphed into now, which I'm really excited about, I created an organization called awakenyourhearts.org. Okay. And hearts is spelled small h, small e, capital ARTS.
Okay.
So one of the great things that I've been able to do over the years is to assist people in learning how to find their art. You know,
their art or heart?
Both.
Okay.
You know, so that's the play on the word. So I really love, I teach songwriting. I also teach people how to be intuitive with their art. In other words, I don't teach them technique. I teach them how to get into their feeling and get into their soul essence, so that their art can communicate to them in a way that will offer them healing, you know, and insight. And so the art is it's really cool that way.
So give us an example. So you say you teach people. So can people go and have a seminar that you teach, and they're going to be doing art like with pen and paper, or how do you do that?
Well, we start with kids' paints for one, tempera, you know, and what I basically do, this was my first experience in the process of creating this kind of art. I had a teacher, and she said, okay, what are you feeling? And I said, well, I'm feeling really depressed, and that's why I'm here. I need some help. She says, well, what color is it? And I said, it's black. And she said, well, then how do you want to move your body? I said, you know, I want to get a brush and just paint the whole canvas black. She said, well, go do that. So I started doing that, and then I stepped away from it, and she said, well, what are you feeling now? And I said, well, I feel a little pissed off, feeling angry, you know? And she said, well, what color is that? And I said, it's red. She said, well, how do you want to move your body? And I said, I just want to take my hands and go like this. So I did. And
On a
then
piece of paper?
No, yeah, it's a great big piece of paper. And then I stepped back from it, and she said, what are you feeling now? And she said, and I'm saying, well, I'm feeling empowered. It's like I feel like I've taken my power back. And she said, what color is that? And I said, it's yellow. And then she said, well, how do you want to move your body? I said, I just want to put my handprints in the yellow paint and put handprints all over it. And then she said, what are you feeling now? And I said, I feel peaceful. And she said, what color is that? And I said, it's white. She said, how do you want to move your body? And I said, well, I just feel like I want to put my hands in the white paint and flick it like this. And so when I stepped back, after literally it took me 20 minutes to do this painting, I stepped back and I had completely pulled myself out of depression.
Wow, what a story.
Yeah, it was great. And so I knew, I went and bought all the paints, and I set up in my garage, and I've never stopped.
Wow.
So it was a way for me to really dive deep into these wounds and create something from it. You know what I mean? And I wasn't told to stay inside the lines. You know what I mean? I could go outside the lines.
Right.
So what I do is, in my seminars, is I teach people how to get into their body, to learn how to use their feelings and their wounds to create beautiful art.
Wow.
So there's a painting in every moment. As long as you're feeling something, there's always change, energy and motion, emotion. And a lot of art in our world is not taught this way anymore.
Nobody does that hardly at all. They don't talk about feelings. It's technique. Is this going to match what we're looking at?
No, my teacher used to say to me, Shawn, if you want to make it look exactly like it looks, that's good. But, you could also save yourself a lot of time and take a picture of it, and be done with it, right? She said, I'm interested in knowing how you express a tree.
Wow.
And I said, oh, that makes sense to me. Again, nothing wrong with making realistic art, nothing wrong with it at all. But she was after the essence of the soul. And sometimes that kind of technique can be a little bit limited.
Right. And
And
I happen to have one of your paintings, one of many paintings of a tree that's at our house, and it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. Yeah.
And I love trees, and that was like one of the things that started morphing for me. What she was able to do was to keep me in the process of finding my own style. And that's what emerged, And so there's three different, like ink and pastel, I went into that after watercolor, and then acrylics, and then I did a little bit of oil work, So I was able to explore, and I've done some sculpture work too, not a lot, and I miss that. So it just freed me up to really be who I am. And when I think of our school systems now, and if art was taught this way for these kids that are really having a hard time, especially after these shootings that we just had.
Oh, my heavens.
Yes. Be able to give them a place to express in a way where it's all okay. And that's the same thing with adults, It's like I hold a space for them to be themselves, where they can just let it out, And so, anyway, this organization called Awakening Your Hearts, that's what I do. I teach people how to use the arts to find their soul and to bring passion back into their life, which allows them to really feel a sense of expansion, healing, empowerment, and it also helps them find a purpose in their life as well.
How does that happen, a purpose from them doing their own art?
Well, you get messages. It's like when you start moving your body, and all of a sudden you see something in the painting, and I teach them how to pull it out, and it's some sort of a message for them. Like perhaps maybe there's an animal in the painting that looks like a horse right there. Oh man, I love horses. Well, maybe it's time to go back and be with horses. And your art is telling you that so that you can bring that passion and love for horses forward in your life. So stuff like that. There's messages that come. And sometimes I've done paintings myself where it's like, I have no idea what I just created. and it's I call it soul food, and it's like I'll leave it out on my on the floor, and I'll just look at it every day, and it'll start feeding me and talking to me about, oh, okay,
Wow.
I get it. So it's multidimensional, I guess you could say. It works on many levels, this kind of art. So, and I love color. You know, I just really love color. And part of the process that I do with people is we do a meditation where they actually are going into color, the colors of the rainbow. And I call it eating color. We feed them color so that they, when they go to the boards with their paper, that they have a sense of being nourished by color, and it allows them to free up a little bit of that color onto the paper.
Wow. So if somebody wants to, that's so intriguing, do this seminar, would they go through to you and you go to a church, or how does it get set up, and where have you been doing it all over the world, or?
I've done it in many places, yes. Basically, I can do it anywhere. If you get a group of people and you want me to come into your community, we'll set it up, you know. And, you know, we can put tarps out on a big room. You know, I've done it in the basement of churches. I've done it in, you know, conference rooms and stuff like that. And I've done it with individuals as well. You know, I'll hold a space for them to find their art, you know, and that's a lot of very rewarding and fun. So yeah, that's what makes me tick. It's like I really enjoy supporting people and finding their heart through their art.
Right, heart through their art. And that's the visual part, and of course there's the audio part, because you are a songwriter, you are a singer, all of that. And then I saw you perform at a church, Center for Positive Spiritual Living, with a whole band, doing everything that is on your I Choose Love recording.
Right.
And I know it was magnificent. There were many men with drums, and it was like stirring, and people stood up and yelled and screamed, and it was a real happening.
That's a good word for it. It's an experience. The whole I Choose Love journey is an experience. It's a roller coaster. You know, there's highs and lows, just like life. You know, and what these songs do is it enables you to see, where am I at on the journey? You know, something's dying, okay, and let's give it a good death and move on to the next adventure, you know? Or I'm discovering something about myself that I've never known. What are my gifts? And how do I bring more joy into my life? Well, to me, that's all connected to your gifts. If you don't know who you are and what your gifts are, what brings you joy, and you're cut off. And that creates a challenge for people. So these songs are all very healing. They have deep messages in them. And to me, music is more than, you know, like I came to Nashville to get into the music business, and I quickly learned that it had to be bigger than country music and radio music. I had a message and that's what really inspired my songwriting, was to clearly allow it to heal me, and now it's out in the world, you know, transforming and helping other people with their lives and their choices that they've come to. And of course, the I Choose Love song was the song that, you know, really started it all off for me. And to this day, it's one of those songs that I am asking myself constantly, am I choosing love in this moment? Am I choosing love in this moment? How do I respond to a shooting like we've just had with love instead of reacting to it out of fear? So it's like that song continues to work on me, and hopefully now it feels like it's actually going to have another resurgence.
Yes.
After you know, I wrote it 20 years ago, and now it's
so timely.
It's very timely.
What I was hoping you'd do is do the song for us right now, and then we'll know what you're speaking of.
Okay.
So would you mind going ahead? And
Well, I can see laughter, I can see tears, I see a choice, love or fear. What do you choose? I can see peace, or I can see war. I can see sunshine, or I can see a storm. What do you choose? Now I choose to live with freedom flying from my heart where the light keeps shining, and I choose to feel the whole world crying for the strength that we can rise above. I choose love. I choose love. I can see sharing, or I can see greed. I can see caring or poverty. What do you choose? I can see gardens, or I can see bars. I can see life or death coming on strong. What do you choose? I choose to live with freedom flying from my heart where the light keeps shining, and I choose to feel the whole world crying for the strength that we can rise above. I choose love. I choose love. Well, I see us healing, the darkness dying, and I see us dawning as the world united. What do you choose? Love or fear? And whoa, we choose. Now I choose to live with freedom flying from my heart where the light keeps shining, and I choose to feel the whole world cry, and I choose to feel the one voice rise, and I choose to feel us all united in the strength that we can rise above. I choose love. I choose love. I choose love. Love. I choose love. I choose love. choose love.
All right, Shawn Galaway. What a wonderful, wonderful song that is so timely. And what are you going to choose, love or fear? And that's something that we need to totally remember. And I am amazed, just so the folks out there know, there will be a second show. So if you've just seen this one, there's a second show. But basically, if people want to have a seminar that you do, learn to do art, learn more about your course, all that, how do they do that? Is there a website that they go on?
Yeah, you can go to ShawnGalaway.com. It's ShawnGalaway.com or awakenyourhearts.org.
All right. And so somebody can actually get a book with your artwork in it, right?
It's an ebook.
Okay, and so they can get on and then order that.
And it goes with the CD, so yeah.
And so they can also get a CD of your music.
All that's available online. Yeah.
Okay. And then, and then as a side item, we'll talk about it more in the next show, you also do tours in Hawaii, taking people out and swimming with the dolphins, right?
Absolutely. It's my favorite thing in the world to do.
Oh my heavens, swimming with the dolphins. Can you imagine? Wow, you are truly a Renaissance man. You are doing it all and helping people heal themselves, which you first do, so you can get out there and heal the planet one time, one person at a time, one introduction at a time. And it is so timely right now with everything going on in the world. And it's great because you have lived this journey through strength, through depression, through look at you now, helping other people. Hey, I've been there. Empathy, sympathy. It's compassion. Compassion. We need more compassion. We certainly need that more in our lives. So again, what is the way they get a hold of you again?
ShawnGalaway.com.
ShawnGalaway.com. Well, thank you so much. We look forward to the other show too, and enjoy. And this is Transitions, Body, Mind, Spirit.
And we choose love.
We choose love. All right. Perfect. Perfect.